Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to today's episode of Vlogmas. When I first told my friends and family that I was going to go visit Korea, I had a lot of, why would you go there, don't go there, Kim Jong's crazy, it's an active war zone, you're gonna get nuked, they're gonna bomb you, blah blah blah, a lot of fear. But I went anyway, because I don't care. I like to make my own opinion up. It was one of the best trips I've ever done. I went with some friends, luckily. So in this video I'm going to give you the 10 reasons that you have to go to Korea, and these are the craziest things that I did in Korea. Number 1, the DMZ. So DMZ stands for Demilitarized Zone. So this is the space between North Korea and South Korea. So it's run by the UN, it's very strict, you have to apply a lot in advance and give in your passport, and you can only go on certain days, and you stick to a tight schedule, but you get to go through the tunnels where they used to have the bombs, and you get to go to a lookout, and there's binoculars, and you can look out into North Korea, and you can even see a big statue of Kim Jong in the middle of this town, which they call Propaganda Town. The last stop is to Jazz? I can't remember what it's called. The Joint Militarized Zone. So that's a space that is between North and South Korea, and there's little blue houses on it, and that's when the negotiators go in to talk to the officials in North Korea, and you get to go into these buildings and cross the line, so you officially get to go to North Korea technically. When you stand there, you look out at this building, which is North Korea, and these guards came out, were staring us down, and it was very intimidating, but it was amazing, and it was one of the most unique experiences of my life, going into an active war zone that had so much rules and regulation with it that you had to like follow, and the tension was so much higher. But well, it was a full day trip, and it was so unique and so enlightening that I highly recommend it. You'd have to do it if you go to Korea. It's amazing. I'm going to butcher this, but I'll put it underneath me. Geisenberg Palace. It sounds like Heisenberg, I'm definitely saying that wrong. It is the royal palace that is in the centre of Seoul. It is where the royal family used to live before they were overthrown and became a republic. It's this really grand city almost, and it shows you traditional Korean architecture, how the royals lived. It's very enlightening, and it's a good culture hit while you're there. And it's in the centre of town, so you can't really miss it, so no excuses not to go to that one. I think it's cheap to get into. Now, if you've got some time on your hands, one of the absolute highlights and most unique things I've ever done in my life, Haeundae Park. Haeundae Park? It's Penis Park. It's a park full of penises. It was the funniest day I think I've ever had travelling. It's on the east coast of Korea, and you have to drive a fair way to get to it, but it's so much fun. The reason it's there, because that's a good question to ask, is that a virgin died at sea, and then the fishermen couldn't fish anymore because there was no fish, and they blamed the woman, always. Because she was a virgin, they assumed that she was angry because she never had any sexy times, and so they peed into the ocean, and that seemed to appease her spirit, and all the fish came back. So they thought if they give her all these phallic objects, it will appease her some more and it'll be prosperous for their fishing. I don't understand the logic. All I know is that it's some of the most creative penis parks I've ever seen. Actually, it's the only penis park I've ever seen. It reminded me of the scene in Superbad where he draws all the dicks in his book, but like that in reality. It's wild. If you've got time, you will not regret it. While we were in Korea, we did a temple stay with some monks, which was amazing. So I've got bigger videos on all of these topics linked below, but the brief of it is, in the hills of Korea, we went and we stayed with some monks, and you get your own dorm, and you have to sleep on the floor and make your own bed, and you get up at 4 AM and you go to prayer, and then you go and have tea with a monk, and you get to go on these beautiful hikes around this. When we went, it was autumn, so all these beautiful coloured, and you get to make prayer beads, which I've still got, and you get to meditate and do meditation classes and just live in this temple, which in the daytime is open to the public for them to visit. So you can just visit it if you want, but staying and doing the prayers and learning the motions you have to do was one of the best things I've done. Like, this Korea trip was so much more fun. I got so much more out of it than I thought I would. So changing gear completely, there's also this poo cafe. So it's not even a cafe, I don't know why I call it a cafe. It's like a gymnasium thing. You go through the digestive tract, but things that are making fart noises, and there's toilets. It's a lot of potty humour. My friend loved it because she's a nurse, and I went in for her. I got nothing out of it, clearly. I'm too highbrow for all this. But it was good fun just having enjoyment, and like there's all these toilet seats on the walls, and because everything's in Korean, I had no idea what was happening. So it was just a hilarious acid trip almost, basically. But that's what a lot of my experience in Korea was, not knowing what was going on and being confused and having fun anyway. The Korean BBQ, the barbecues, Korean barbecue, they're literally everywhere, as you can imagine. And they're some of the best meats and seafoods and broths that you can come across ever. And you get to try one in a traditional Korean restaurant in Korea, in Seoul. So it's a massive bucket list item for any foodie out there, and you have to try it. I didn't eat the meat, obviously, but a lot of my friends that I was with did, and they all raved about it. So definitely have a Korean barbecue. Hike, we did a Bukistan Hike. I think I'm probably saying all these wrong. It is a hike in Korea. It is the national park just outside of Seoul, and I think it's one of my favourite hikes I've ever done, second to Machu Picchu. But at the time I hadn't done Machu Picchu, so at the time it's my favourite hike. Hiking up there was beautiful. The mountains were like a different type of rock. I'm not a geologist, I can't tell you what type of rock. They were just beautiful. We had such nice weather, and because it was autumn, the colours were stunning, and it was the most red leaves I've ever seen. It was a pretty exhaustive hike. There's lots of different routes you can go, and there's different temples along the way you can check out, but 100% would do it again if I went back. So after you do your hike, you need to relax, right? So why not get naked with a bunch of strangers in a Korean spa? We went to Dragon Spa, which had great reviews. I went with my friends, and they have the spa section, so you can go into the spa, you know, swim, do spa things. Or there's all these different saunas, ice saunas, like you get inside a kiln in one of them. There's lots of fun things. So we met the boys up in the spa section, that's co-ed, and so we tried out all the different saunas together and just had good fun relaxing after a really strenuous hike. You've got to try Korean street food. You just have to. It's amazing. There's this main street in the centre of Seoul, and it has all these night markets on it, and it's got all like the really good Korean shops. And so these are proper Korean shops, not westernized. But had some of the best food there. They had like the fish cakes with the red bean paste in it. They had kebabs. They had spring rolls. They had anything you could ever want. Lastly, there's this thing called Nami Island, and so Nami Island is technically its own republic, operating inside Korea, and you zipline into this island. It has its own currency, has its own passport stamp. You cycle down this main island. There's ostriches. We got tandem bikes because we thought that'd be funny, and it was, and scary. One of the most bizarre experiences, but such a fun day trip, and it's just outside Seoul, so it's not too far out, but good luck finding a website in English, because I think it was a complete fluke that we even got there and managed to zipline in. So that's it, that's my top crazy experiences that I had in Korea. Tell me if I missed out on any major experiences down in the comments below. I will always take an excuse to return to Korea. Remember to hit subscribe so I can see you tomorrow as part of my next installment of Vlogmas. And remember to give this video a thumbs up because it does help me out a lot. And I will see you tomorrow.